Hey, how's it going? So, I am going to go ahead and do another one of these draft sims. I really enjoyed looking back at my last one that I did and, listening to myself deliberate over all my picks and my rationale, and let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Okay. Cards that I think are the best in this pack would be Thopter Engineer, Topan Freeblade, Elvish Visionary, and Reef Soul. Topan Freeblade is just so great. I had white as one of my colors in both of the paper drafts that I've done so far, and having Topan Freeblades in that deck was just so awesome if you can get one down on turn 2. Reef Soul is also killer. That I would really like to take, and Thopter Engineer as well. I would guess Topan Freeblade is probably the strongest card. Topan Freeblade or Reef Soul are probably the strongest ones, followed by Thopter Engineer and then Elvish Visionary. I may be undervaluing Thopter Engineer, but I think I'll just take Topan Freeblade because white is like super good, and I really like the card in general, so I think I'll go with Topan Freeblade. Okay. Here, the cards that I'm interested in would be Black Massacre, Deadbridge Shaman, Courser, Visionary, and Sergeant. I think of the creatures, Sergeant's probably the best. I would rather have a Sergeant over a Water Courser, but I think Water Courser is really good. Also, Elvish Visionary is pretty rad, like we had the one in the last pack. Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be between these 3 or these 4, and I think I'll take Akroan Sergeant. That, to me, seems like the best one to get here. Okay. Hellhound's great if I ended up in green or red-black. Charging Griffin, also good. And then a Cleric. I think I'd rather take the Cleric over the Charging Griffin. Rhox Maulers is massive and awesome, and Celestial Flare is, it's removal, but, your opponent can play around it. But still, I think it's not to be ignored. Cleric up the forward order is probably going to be the pickup for me here. I think it's a good 2-drop. 2/2 isn't that exciting, but it's good, and you get some life. So, and this is pretty early on, so in the future we might value others slightly higher if we happen to collect more of the set. So, yeah, I think that would probably be the best pick for me here. It'd be between Griffin and Maulers, I think. So I'll go ahead and take that. Okay. Rogue's Passage is good. Skyraker Giant, pretty great, especially that it's got significant stats and has reach. I think is pretty awesome. I think I would like Skyraker Giant, Knight, Sergeant. I think Skyraker Giant's probably the strongest, and I think it'd be cool to have Call of the Full Moon, in a super aggro deck. +3/+2 in trample is so great, but I think I remember Louis Scott Vargas in Limited Resources saying that he heard someone say that it doesn't cost 2 mana, it costs all of your mana if you cast it on on a turn where you have more mana than just 2. No matter what, it costs all your mana because you can only play that card. So, not something I'm super eager to dive into, I guess. I feel solid that Skyraker Giant's great, although I do like this card too. So yeah, I think we'll go with Skyraker Giant. So here we're not seeing much good white or red. These cards are not that exciting. I think the best card in the pack is Orchard Spirit. So I'm going to take that. Yeah. Volcanic Rambler is, I'm not, all my cards are good, but I'm not so invested in those two colors that I wouldn't consider switching to green if it seems more open. And I think I'd rather have Orchard Spirit over Volcanic Rambler, so I'll go ahead and take that. The only two cards I think I'd be interested in here would be between Celestial Flare and Mighty Leap. Mighty Leap, combat trick, not particularly exciting, but decent. And then Celestial Flare, I spoke about it before. We could also get Scout, which I think is quite good, especially with renowned creatures. I actually may just go ahead and take that. Another 2-drop. We've already got some red. I think in fact Scout might be the pick that I go for here. Chandra's Fury. I don't think I would take that over one of these cards, and I think I'll go ahead and take Subterranean Scout. Okay. Here again, we don't really have too much that's exciting. The best card in the pack is probably Orchard Spirit again. Guardians is pretty good. It's okay. Return Centaur's alright. One thing I was wondering about is Brawler's Plate, a card that I might want. Of course, it doesn't do anything immediately, and you might want, you wouldn't want to play like turn 2 creature, turn 3 Brawler's Plate, turn 4 equip it, because then you only have one creature doing anything all that time. But, if you could get it later, it could help your creatures get renowned with trample. But I don't know, maybe I guess that probably wouldn't work too well. I guess I'd either take Smash to Smithereens for a sideboard card or Orchard Spirit. And I'm thinking I'll take a second Orchard Spirit because, who knows, I wouldn't mind playing 2 of them in green were I to go to green. So yeah. Oh, hey, there's another green one. Herald of the Pantheon. It's enchantment. Its enchantment ability I don't think would really come into play too much. If you happen to have an enchantment, it might be a good bonus, but not something that you would get and then think you needed to get to force yourself into getting more enchantments just because of the card. So I think my white cards are better than my green cards right now, so instead I'll take Mighty Leap. Enlightened Ascetic also is a card that would be good in the sideboard, but I think I'd rather have a combat trick over that one. So this is the pack coming back around. Would Goblin Piledriver or Dragon Fodder be a better 2-drop here? I mean, obviously they would be great together. If I was able to get Goblin Piledriver and then a couple Dragon Fodders, that'd be pretty fantastic. But Goblin Piledriver, pretty unremarkable. I mean, obviously if you're playing against a blue player, that's pretty sweet. But I think overall Dragon Fodder is probably just a fine, a more fine 2-drop Oromancer. Not super crazy about that one, especially because I don't have any enchantments to speak of yet. Meteorite, meh, I don't know. But I think for here, I'm going to go with Piledriver. In this situation, I'm not sure. Would I take Piledriver and maybe hope to pick up, a Boggart Brute, some Dragon Fodders later on? Because it's more valuable. I think if it were, were I drafting in paper, I'd take Goblin Piledriver anyways, just because I could sell it for a few bucks. So yeah, I'll take Goblin Piledriver. We'll go ahead and keep it. What I would actually pick. Here I guess I'll take Warhorn. It'd be cool if I could, be fairly aggressive. Is Warhorn though? Yeah, I think Warhorn would have a better chance of seeing play in my deck than Orbs of Warding. And Yoke Docs, maybe. But I guess I'll take Warhorn. Here I can take that Brawler's Plate. But would it be better if I just took Negate? Because that may be something I would want to not have to deal with later. And would I really play Brawler's Plate? I don't know. Maybe it would be good if I had Relic Seeker. I would value equipment a little more. I guess I'll just take Negate because I don't really care about these cards. And I really don't see myself playing Brawler's Play too much. 3 and then 4 to equip just seems, to me, a little expensive. I'll take a Battle Priest. Well, maybe Guardians would be better. I've got some pretty aggressive stuff so far, even if in all my colors, you know, the fact that we've got, you know, renown creatures that are low on the in mana cost and a Subterranean Scout to get them through means that hopefully I'm attacking fairly quickly and fairly often. Battle Priest, I think I don't really want. Maybe this decision is easier than I'm making it out to be. I'll take Battle Priest. It's a flyer. It could do some work. And here's that Volcanic Rambler that you know, we weren't too excited about taking, but hey, we ended up what we didn't want to take, and then Vine Snare, so whatever. Okay, so what have we got here? So now I've got some pretty sweet green stuff. Undercity Troll is fantastic, as is Wild Instincts. We don't have any removal yet, so it'd be great to get a Wild Instincts if we wanted to shift into green here, because we really hadn't seen too many good white cards. But we haven't been able to get like a Fire Impulse or a Ravaging Blaze or something like that either. So I think Undercity Troll, Elvish Vision. If I were to pick a 2-drop, of course it would be the Undercity Troll. I think I'd rather have a really great creature over Wild Instincts. So yeah, I think Undercity Troll is the best card in the pack, and I'll go ahead and take that one. Conclave Naturalists. I think this card just rocks. Also, we've got an Unholy Hunger, but we do already have some green. Yeah, we don't have any black, and we also don't have any removal, so that is pretty highly valued for us, but we would also be completely moving into a color that I don't have any cards in yet. So I think Conclave Naturalists is pretty solidly the strongest card in the pack. Firefiend Elemental we could play. So yeah, I think I'll take this one. Ooh, Leaf Gilder. I like Leaf Gilder more than Timberpack Wolf. Like I was saying before about the other 2-mana 2/2s, Timberpack Wolf would be pretty awesome if we were able to get even more of them, but I'm not going to take it over a Leaf Gilder, especially when I don't have any more. And there's nothing else that's making me eager to take Leaf Gilder more. The fact that we are getting a Leaf Gilder now means that at least a few people aren't playing in green, and we got past a Conclave Naturalist, so green is looking pretty good for us right now, I would think. And we have a Llanowar Empath? That's cool. Oh, we've also got a Boggart Brute and an Enshrouding Mist. So let's see. We've really seen not that much white. We have 3 white cards that I'd like to play, 3 red cards that I'd like to play, and then a few that I'm indifferent about. And green I would really like to play now, because I've got Undercity Troll, Conclave Naturalists, and Leaf Gilder. Those are 3 cards that I think are really, really good. And we've got a couple of Orchard Spirits if we ran short of on playables. So would I go ahead and pick up Enshrouding Mist, because it's pretty darn good. Take the Brute, especially because I have a Piledriver too, that makes that pretty good. It has a chance of being even better, the Goblin Piledriver. I think Boggart Brute, especially, like, Menace is so menacing. That's dumb. What am I even saying? So I think I'd like to have the Boggart Brute more than any of the other cards here. I really like Enshrouding Mist. That card did so much work for me in my first draft. And also Llanowar Empath. But I guess the Brute here would just be the best card. Jessian Thief. Oh, that's a late one. That means that nobody over there is in blue. But I think obviously we're just going to take Topan Freeblade here, which is kind of making things even harder for me because now I've got pick up a good green card. Well, pick up 3 awesome green cards, pick up a good red card, and now I'm taking a good white card. So this is going to be tough. Let's see. Sigil of Valor? Is that going to be the best card for me? You know, Caustic Caterpillar, sideboard card. We don't have enchantment, so I'm not going to take Sigil of the Empty Throne. Akroan Jailer, I wouldn't take. Shambling Ghoul is great if we were in black. And if I were to guess, you know, I mean, I obviously haven't trained my eye as well as, you know, more experienced drafters to what I might think other players are trying to pick. But the fact that it's this late in Pack 2 when we are seeing a Shambling Ghoul means that at least quite a few people are passing it on, so maybe it would be a better idea to move into some black. And we also saw that Jesse and think, man, that card is good. I guess I'll take Sigil of Valor. Maybe I'll play it. Would it be better to take, you know, a card in a color that I'm probably going to play as a sideboard, or a card that I might play in any color as a sideboard card? Or maybe not a sideboard card, but a potential playable. I guess I'll just take that one. And now we've got solid blue. I mean, Watercourser and Ringwarden Owl are both quite good. Undead Servant, you know, one of the collectibles. I think here I'd take Heavy Infantry, and I already have a Battle Priest. I don't really want a second one. But here's another situation where I am a little confused. Since we've been seeing good blue cards, would I now think, yeah, I'm seeing good blue cards, I'm going to ditch my good cards that I have in white and red, and go ahead and stick with green and maybe move into blue-green because we've been seeing these decent blue cards, or do I just go ahead and stick with what I have? Of course, I guess I would try to see later on, once I actually played with them, if it worked out, but oh, pardon me. But, you know, since I can't, doing what I can, and hopefully, you know, y'all might have some advice for me in this situation. Kithian's Tactics is what I'm going to take. Might not play it, but it's probably the best one for me to take here. And there's really nothing that I'm too excited about in this pack. I mean, I don't really think I would want to play 2 Heavy Infantry, would I? I don't really plan to play Healing Hands either, so I guess I take a creature over a spell that I really don't think I'd play. I'd really like to get some removal, a suppression bond, some red burn spell, I think would be what I'd really like to do. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd take another Battle Priest. And then I'll probably play a Brawler's Plate over Healing Hands. Vastwood Gorger? That I like. That I will take happily. Okay. Last pack here. Let's see what we're looking at. Fiery Impulse. So we, at the moment, have no removal. So I guess that, even though Somberwald Alpha is really good, Boggart Brute's really good, Gearcrafter's good, I think it's probably the best thing for me to do, to take Fire Impulse here. Just because I need removal, and Fire Impulse is one of the best ways to get it. I'm sad that we've got to pass the Alpha because I think that creature is quite good, along with another Brute, considering that we've got our Piledriver, but I think that's probably just the best way to go about it. Well, Glory Chaser is quite aggressive, though if you don't play it early on turn 1 or something, it's really not going to do that much. It's just a 1/1, and you're probably not likely going to be able to get it through to get renowned. Oh, yeah, doing this later in the day is definitely noticeable. Throwing Knife, Akroan Sergeant, I think Akroan Sergeant is what I'm going to take. I'd like a throwing knife, but the Sergeant is probably better. I'm not sure. We'll see. Elvish Visionary. I think I'll take Elvish Visionary over Mage Ring Bully. Am I looking more like I'm going to be in red now? As sad as it is, yeah, I think so. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red cards. 7 that I would plan on playing. Then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 white cards that I would like to play. The rest are pretty mediocre. So, and I know I want to be in green, just because of these 3 awesome. Well, I mean, that's, now that I think about it, that's way fewer cards. That's fewer cards than I have in white that I'd like to play. You know, now we have the 5th, but we really are just not seeing much. And now that, considering how much awesome blue we've seen, I guess that would have been the right move, because we would have had a Jessian Thief, we would have had a Watercourser or 2, we would have had a Ring Warden Owl, and now we would have had a Separatist Void Mage. So I'm going to take Dragon Fodder. Looks like red's going to be the color for us to match with our green, and hopefully I'll be able to have some Goblin synergies because of the Piledriver. I'll happily take Rhox Maulers here. I don't need another Orchard Spear. That would be Orchard Spear number 3. But yeah, Rhox Maulers is great. I'm very excited about that. Okay, so now we're seeing more cards that we might be interested in. I don't have a single Aura card in my deck so far, so I don't think Totem Guide Heartbeast is as useful. I mean, 2/5 for 5 is, you know, something, but let's go ahead and see what my curve's looking like. I've got some 3-drops, so Yeva's Forcemage, yeah, so Yeva's Forcemage is something that I might want. I don't have to, since I don't have too many cards that cost 2 mana, save for my Sergeants and my Orchard Spirits. And I think at this point, yeah, I'm pretty solidly taking red, the path into red-green. Oh, it'd be so great if I stumbled across this Zendikar Incarnate, but that, I mean, obviously that's not going to happen at this point. Though I suppose you never know. I guess Meteorite's probably just the best card. I'm also pretty short on non-creature spells, so that might be a good thing for us to have. I'll take Herald. I mean, yeah, down to have another playable 2-drop Caterpillar as a sideboard card. Happy with that. I'll take Glory Chaser. Maybe you'll end up in there. And then look at all this blue. I am interested to look at the bots and see if there was one bot that was drafting blue that was very excited about how this was going. I'm not going to play Demolish, so I'll just take Ascetic. And I don't really want another Tactics. And there's Demolish again. So, what are we looking at here? I don't think this... I think I could have made some better decisions in this draft for sure. Where do you think that I went wrong? Do you... was there a specific moment that I really just went the wrong direction? Should I have moved into blue? Should I have moved into black? Please tell me so I can... Because I really appreciate any advice on that subject that you might have, because obviously I'm still unsure of my ability, but I'm really excited to learn and get better. So go ahead and toss all these creatures in here, toss our spells in there as well, and see what we can throw together. Yeah, there's really not as many cards that I'm excited about in this deck as I would like. In the last one that I did, I really had quite a few cards that I was like, yeah, this is great. I've got some good stuff in here. But this time, I'm really not feeling that same excitedness. I don't know if I should go ahead and get rid of one of those artifact non-creature spells I have for one of these other creatures, because right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means I've got 16 creatures. And that's okay, because it looks like I'm trying to be fairly aggressive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 drops. 1, 4 drop, and then some 5s and a 6. At least we managed to get that one Fiery Impulse. I don't know how I mean, this is another creature, obviously, but I mean, will Sigil of Valor be very helpful? Vine Snare is not going to be that useful. I'll go ahead and get rid of that right away. But at least these I might play, or, might be helpful. Warhorn, yeah. Meteorite, yeah, it's expensive, but it's something. And it's the only other form of removal we have. A bit more expensive than Fiery Impulse for 2 damage, but, at least we can tap it for color this mana. Any color, pardon me. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not nearly as excited about this deck as I might have been, and I'm sure somewhat it could have been played better, but I'm excited to hear what you might, the advice you might have as to where I could have made some better decisions. Really, I guess, the only thing that I can think of might be that I really should have picked up on the fact that blue was looking pretty open and ditched a color for that, because the only good green cards we got were early in that pack 2. We managed to snag some decent red cards here and there, but white dried up really fast, as did it. It looked like green and red did as well. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the bots here in a sec as well. So let's take a look at my curve. I don't have any double colors save for Skyraker Giant. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So slightly more green. So I guess really I'd just go 9, 8 green red. I guess that makes sense. And yeah, I guess that's my deck here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bots and see what anybody else drafted. So this is where all that white was going. I definitely... Oh, and they got a Sentinel, man. Yeah. 3 Nightly Valors. Sometimes I see a lot of the same cards in this draft sim, and I wonder if there's something up with that, but I suppose it's possible. Yeah, this is where all the white cards were going. They managed to get some pretty sweet stuff. Four Reef Souls, wow. Let's see. This one took that, let's see. Oh yeah, they got a Zendikar Incarnate. That would have been pretty sweet. Love Starfish. It would have been awesome if we could get a Chandra's Ignition. It would be pretty awesome if we could get an Exquisite Firecraft. But yeah, here's that person who was drafting blue who was just got all these good blue cards. Another person drafting white and green. Yeah, see, when they pick up a Castellan second, they're going to be pretty keen on getting those two because they get awesome white card, awesome card in general, Castellan. But picking it up that early maybe not what you're after. Hey, are those the same lion? And then they just keep getting good white cards, good green cards. So they're pretty much gonna stick in there. Then they got the Jessian Thief, just in case it didn't work out, I guess. Yeah, I definitely could have done much better, but I suppose we've got some decent stuff in our deck. We've got an alright curve. Yeah, this is nothing too exciting, but I appreciate you watching. Please let me know if you've got any advice, any corrections that I should make as far as my values of different cards. And thank you so much. I'll go ahead and post my deck list in the description. And hopefully I'll see you guys next time.